Hey, they're awake. See, they're awake. Well, good afternoon, and welcome to Swinging at the Snug, that wonderful, wonderful Wednesday happy hour show that we have for you every Wednesday. We want to give props out to the Jazz Foundation of America, our partners in all of this. We are so pleased and proud to be doing this series, and it's great to be streaming this series every Wednesday. If you miss things, you doze off for 10 minutes, you can come back later and see the whole thing at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, because we want to thank our Facebook partners with that, and that's Offbeat Publications and the Jazz Foundation of America and the Snug Harbor Jazz Bistro. You can go up on any of those Facebooks and be just endlessly amused and seeing great talent, as we're going to be seeing today, because we have the Seeger Allstars right here. Look at this. Look at these guys. Huh? So I'm Jason Patterson. They've asked me to introduce the band and give you a little insight on the Jazz Foundation of America, because they do a lot of things, don't they? Don't they, Brian?
Yes, they do.
Hallelujah.
Yes, they bailed me out.
Yeah, out of jail. But, you know, musicians, they're much higher level than that. But, you know, any kind of atrocity, any kind of aberration in our environment, you know, like hurricanes and floods and pandemics and all that kind of stuff, that keep musicians from getting an income, you know. These guys deserve an income. You know how many hours they put into playing? Let's not think about it. It's a lot of hours. So the Jazz Foundation's there, right there for them in so many ways. It gives them some legal aid, some medical needs, it supplies housing. They even supply performance opportunities like the one you're at right now. Yeah, that's right. So if you want to go up onto the internet and check out jazzfoundation.org, there it all is. Tells you all about them doing stuff here and in New York, and they've been doing stuff over in North Carolina, South Carolina, all those different places. And, oh, look at that. There is a little donation button there. So you just check your spare change and then give a donation to the Jazz Foundation. Then they can do even more for our musicians. And that's important, isn't it? I think musicians are important, don't you think? I don't know what all these music clubs would be doing if we didn't have musicians, right? Anyway. Let's get on with the music. What do you think? These guys are called All-Stars for a reason, because every one of them is a star in their own right. Right? Right, Gerald? Huh? Most of the time. Give it up for Gerald French. He's on the boom drums. The Honorable James Singleton is on bass. We call him the Honorable because he's a part-time judge. No, not really. Hey, look, Aurora Nealon. I bet you she's going to be playing that saxophone. I bet you. You know Brian, don't you? Well, you should, because he has been playing in our place and in New Orleans in general and in Europe and around the world for how many years? And look, he's still a young man. He's still a young man. So he's also the jazz coordinator over at the UNO Jazz Studies program, and we love him for that and all the things he does for everybody. So, hey, give it up for Brian Seeger and his all-star band.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you all so much for being here. Wow, I'm amazed. There's people in the room. I was like, oh, we're going to be playing to the video camera, just like the good old days. Wow, I'm ecstatic to be here, and we're presenting a set of all original tunes of mine, and I write a lot of different kinds of tunes. Thanks, baby. Yeah. I write a lot of different kinds of tunes, but I know that the Jazz Foundation of America, that I literally have benefited, like when we didn't have any gigs at all, they were paying bills for people, and I'm forever grateful to that and to this organization, and especially to friends of mine that had health issues, then they couldn't work because of that, and they were finding them doctors and sending them checks, and it's just been a powerful thing. So I know that they're very they're very interested in keeping the culture alive, and so when I thought about putting this band together and thought about putting this set together, I cherry-picked a lot of stuff of mine that I thought was directly referential to my experience of the nurturing that New Orleans has given to me over the years. So all the tunes are kind of like, I feel like this is a very pretty New Orleans, like some of my stuff I write is maybe more New York, I don't know for the right word, or European or whatever, but so that's what you're going to hear. So that first tune was, thanks. That first tune was a tune called Strawberry Blonde, and the name comes from that there was like, at some point Blue Note made a record and they accidentally put like a tune on the beginning of one of the records that became a jukebox hit, and it was called Cantaloupe Island. And so a bunch of people like started composing tunes, and Blue Note made them make the first tune of the record be a tune like that, and a lot of them were like a fruit name. And so that's how this tune got named, Strawberry Blonde. So yes, we went back in time. Hopefully it would end up on the first track of some Blue Note record. But this next tune that we're going to play is a tune called Eat Your Greens, which I was thinking about the title today, and I mean, when I originally wrote it, it was kind of dedicated to a great soul jazz guitarist named Grant Green, but I feel like it doesn't sound anything like anything that he would ever play. So it's a huge failure. But in my heart, I'm sending it out to him.
You're your own worst critic.
Thank you so much. We're going to continue on. I have to say, I was thinking, I don't know, recently I was like, wow, I'm showing up and I have a gig, and it's like everybody on stage is like a band leader. And it's kind of intimidating. They're not just sort of band leaders. They're like major league band leaders, and it's like, wow, I have a band full of band leaders. It's going to be interesting. But I knew it was going to be great. I mean, Gerald's leading a band that's literally been together for almost 110 years. That is some heavy shit right there. Yeah. It's but all these cats are just amazing. I'm so grateful to be here. Yeah, he looks great I know, it's amazing. It's that special sauce.
It's in the water.
We're going to continue with a tune that I dedicate to some friends of mine. One of the most magical places in Louisiana that probably very few of you have ever heard of. It exists somewhere between Sunset, Louisiana and Opelousas, and it's called the Whirlybird. Yeah, and it's like a super magical location, and it's sort of a secret-ish. The guy had these business cards, and like it had a GPS thing on it, and if you like followed the GPS, you would end up at the county jail. I thought that was a really kind of like interesting way to make sure nobody knows about your magical place. But these folks, their names are Jim and Christy, and they just do everything, and they have an art center in the middle of nowhere. So if you want to do road trips to fantastic, whimsical places within your state, you should sign up for their mailing list. So I feel like this song really captures their... every year they have the same New Year's resolution. We're going to have more fun this year than the year before. So I feel like that this song is supposed to embody that playfulness of Jim and Christy at the Whirlybird. You got it, baby.
Give me a tempo again.
The Whirly Bird. Okay, now we're going to bring up another band leader and amazing talent. Please welcome to the stage Miss Cindy Scott. We're going to do a song that is like Cindy and Yay Band, yes. Cindy and a guy that she used to be married to. They took one of my songs, and they rewrote it. But the original song, like when we showed up today, and Aurora was like, "Hey, are we going to play your song Wife Repellent?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Well, we're not playing the song Wife Repellent, but this song that Cindy and her guy that she was formerly married to wrote lyrics to. They took my song and they kind of mangled it a little bit, but it's mostly Wife Repellent." But it's now called Frank the Mailman, and it's about Cindy's crush on the UPS guy, because he apparently filled out a pair of shorts in a very nice way. Yeah, and so
you are on live stream. Remember that.
That's even better. Okay, it's all safe, fun. Okay, Frank the Mailman. Miss Cindy Scott.
I won't sing the body lyrics for you.
Yeah, she does have nasty lyrics for it, too.
But I'm not going to sing them
They won't
today.
go on the live
They
stream.
won't go on the live stream. No. I can't remember them. I'm too sweet.
Always a good excuse.
Come back for the real show.
That's Frank the Mailman, brings me letters. My day's better when he comes around. He's such a swell man. He loves babies, he helps old ladies. He's all over town. He's so nice, the dog don't bark. She don't bark, she don't bark. I've got a delivery just for him. Oh, yes, I do. Frank rings my bell now. Rain or shine now. I feel fine when he comes my way. And every day like clockwork, Frank comes calling. I think I'm falling for Frank the Mailman. Frank the Mailman. comes around. He's such a swell man. He loves babies. He helps old ladies. He's all over town. He's so nice. The dog don't bark. She don't bark. She don't bark. I've got a delivery just for him. Oh, yes, I do. Frank rings my bell now. Rain or shine now. I feel fine when he comes my way. And every day like clockwork, Frank comes calling. I think I'm falling for Frank the mailman. Frank the mailman. He's so fine. I'm gonna make him mine. He's so cute in that little blue suit. Frank the mailman. Here comes Frank. Here comes Frank. Here comes Frank. Here comes Frank. Thanks so much.
Wonder how tight of a ship they run here.
I don't know.
Really tight? Is it like is it like you're gonna pull the plug out at nah? Okay, cool. Because there's 2 more tunes and yeah, nice. These hour-long sets, man. I don't know. So we're gonna play a tune of mine that is they're all tunes of mine. I'll stop saying that part. I already told you that. This was the composition process is really interesting, and everybody on the stage here like writes tunes, and I'm sure that they have similar and dissimilar relationships to the whole thing. But I can never predict how a tune's gonna appear. Sometimes deadlines work really well. It's like, there's a record next week and there's nothing fast. You better write a fast tune. And that seems to work pretty good often, yeah. And then sometimes, you know, like I feel like a lot of people think that a bunch of, like what we do often is super mystical, and I would say most of the time it's like super just bang your head against the wall. But every now and then a mystical moment happens, you know, and it's like it's almost fictional when it happens, and then when it happens it's so cool and you just want it to happen again, but then you just go back to deadlines and banging your head against the wall. And at the most unlikely moment, like you're in the checkout line at the grocery store, suddenly like you'll have some amazing tune that happens. But so this tune, I had a tune in my phone, because sometimes we collect snippets. Everybody collects their snippets. And I had this snippet, and I had this snippet, and the snippet was amazing. It was amazing. And I was going to finish this snippet, and I worked on it, and the snippet was there, and the snippet. And then one day I sat down to work on the snippet, and this entirely different tune came out. And I have no idea. It was not related to the snippet at all. And the damn snippet is still in my phone, unfinished, all these years later. So this tune came out, and then it came out, and for some reason it really told me that it needed to have words, which also was another kind of divine intervention, I suppose. So this is the only tune that I've actually written the entire set of lyrics for. And so it's nice to have an amazing singer like Cindy Scott to be able to deliver this tune to you. So the tune is called Prayer.
Oh no, I can't handle this. The pain, the strange emptiness, my thoughts erode the edges of my soul. Oh, please, I beg for relief from hurt, from days filled with grief. My heart feels cold. A frost has taken hold. A shadow of longing renders life's colors faint. My palette smeared with despair's wintry paint. Eyes blurred by tears, I struggle to create portraits cast in slate. Oh Lord, I drank bitter wine. I am sick. My light doesn't shine. Send help, because I'm lost without you in my life. send help, because I'm lost without you in my life. It's the last song of the set. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks to the Jazz Foundation for putting this together, and to Snug Harbor for hosting. Thanks to Brian Seeger for putting all the music together. James Singleton on the bass. Aurora Nealand on saxophone. Gerald French on drums. My name is Cindy Scott. Thanks so much. Woke up by myself this morning, thinking about what used to be. I thought I heard you call out my name, but I'm alone with my memories. Oh, you couldn't this morning, I was thinking all about what used to be. Then I thought I heard you call out my name, and I'm alone with my memories. Boy, you couldn't stop me from leaving. I knew it all, but what did I know? And now I get it that I got it wrong, 'cause loving you feels like home. The planets all turn, the sun goes down each night, and life goes on and so do I. But every once in a while I stop myself from calling to ask you why we said goodbye. I was dreaming all about what might have been. If there's no future in the past, is there a chance we could start again? Is there a chance we could start again? I wanna see you. I wanna know you better. I wanna call you. Wanna know how you are. I wanna know how you are. I wanna see us together again. Woke up by myself this morning. I was dreaming all about what might have been. If there's no future in the past, is there a way into your heart? Is there a chance that we could start again? Thanks so much.
Gerald Fritch, Aurora Nealon, James Singleton, Cindy Scott. I'm Brian Seeger. Thank you to Snug Harbor and the Jazz Foundation of America.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Sweet home, Valencia. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Maybe we could start again.